Hey, what's up, friends? We'll get some music going in the background here to make it not too super weird and stuff. But welcome to Chaos Live. I think it's playing. It's probably really low in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud. Just let me know if it's too loud. If it's too loud, then we'll adjust it. But that way it gives it a nice little calming music to play while I take a sip of my fine Rockstar. So what's happening? I was not planning on doing live today, but why not, right? Why not? So here we are, here to hang out with you fine fellow people. We got some people that showed up early before I even got started. T-Dog, we got, was it Vasily? We got Air Pasaya, I don't even know. We got a YouTube user named Shut Up. We got Michael, John. We got, there was more. There was someone else too, I remember. Did I miss them? There was Alex. We've got Rachel. All sorts of awesome people inside there hanging out here. So, how's it going? This is the live stream that I do once in a while. I need to go back to just doing weekly all the time. That way I have every weekend you can expect the Chaos Live. Hopefully. I don't know. Do you guys want it every weekend or is that too much? Let me know in the chat. I would like to know. Keep it kid-friendly? I try to. There's people that may be watching these live streams in their bedrooms and they live with their parents because they're still in high school and they someday want to be in the army. I don't know. So I don't want this to be something where your parents hear this from another room or walk in to check on you and I'm like dropping F-bombs and all sorts of craziness. So, what was your last rank? And am I your first person to like this? I don't know if you were the first person to like this. I didn't keep track of that, but I was a sergeant. I could have been a staff sergeant, but I didn't have college education at the time to make points because points are really high. It's a complicated process. I should have been staff sergeant, but I wasn't. It's a good amount. Oh, for the music, good. All right. Give the live stream a like. See you in Dallas, definitely. Give the live stream a like if you're here hanging out early to watch. And yes, Harvey, I will see you in Dallas. I'm looking forward to it. The only thing I'm kind of worried about is we started getting cold here in Colorado already, and I'm scared that like, what if something screws up to where my flight out of Denver to Los Angeles gets screwed up? Because if my flight out of Denver gets screwed up to go to Los Angeles, it screws everything. So if I do this again next year, I'm gonna have to organize it differently to not have that kind of, you know, possibility of this getting massively screwed up because of one flight being jacked up. Is Christopher a Broncos fan? I am not. I don't really watch football too much. When I do, I root for the Raiders. Raiders are doing horrible this year, but like I barely know. I only know maybe like a couple of the players that play for the Raiders. I don't really follow football that much. But yeah, I root for the Raiders, even though they're doing really horrible. I'm more of an MMA fan, so that's my more of a thing. What's up, Brendan? Every week, Larry says. Bring it on, more chaos. I'm gonna work on trying to do more stuff. I got right over there, yeah, right over there. Some topics. I didn't hit on all those topics last live stream, but that more shows thing is the thing I'm gonna try to get to. I know, like, you know, a lot of channels that do well are those channels that do a lot of content, and I would love to get to the point where I have Monday through Friday. I probably won't do weekends because I feel like a lot of people, you know, some people may watch YouTube stuff on the weekends, but some people are out doing stuff. So Monday through Friday would be a good schedule. But I'm just, you know, I have a day job, and then where I have free time between day job and family time, I try to get these videos out for you guys, and so it's kind of tough. But I'd like to get it to a certain point one day where I can at least do 5 videos a week. I am going to be trying out next week, or this week actually, 3 videos a week. So you will see on Wednesday a little test video for a possible new series that I'll be doing. If you guys like it, then make sure you show it some love. It's going to be called Cruising with Chaos, and basically is what it is I'm just driving around and telling you guys stories. And for this first story, I'll be telling you guys about what it was like when I went to basic training. So be sure to check that out on Wednesday. But if you're a Patreon member, you can check it out now. So that is available for Patreon members. What else we got? I love your videos. Awesome. Every week is perfect chaos. Well, thank you, Rachel. Every weekend. Yes, do weekly. Also, I received the Chaos Live shirt yesterday. I have it on my Instagram. Also, I raged you. Rage? I don't know. You didn't tag me. Why didn't you tag me? You should have tagged me in it so I could have seen it. Unless you did tag me and I just didn't notice it. You should have tagged me in it so I could have checked it out. I would have totally given it a like if I can. I don't know if I can. Oh, you might be. I don't know, unless your account's private. If your account's private, then I won't be able to do that. How do you become a drill sergeant? Usually when you make staff sergeant, E6, a lot of staff sergeants come up on orders for either recruiting or for drill sergeant orders. I don't know if you can request it. You might be able to even request it too, but a lot of times staff sergeants just come up on orders to do it, and they get stuck with either one recruiting or being a drill sergeant. But I'm going to the SEALs next year after school. Well, good luck to you, Shane. That's awesome. If you could stay in the military longer, would you? If I could have, like before, I don't know. I got sick of the lifestyle. Maybe if I been doing like a different job, maybe I would have liked it more. But doing transportation, being a truck driver, and all that kind of stuff like that, I got burnt out on it. Doing deployments, especially like that after that 15-month deployment. God, I was really burnt out after that. That sucked. So maybe had I been doing a different job, then maybe. I loved the movie stripes. Oh, the movie stripe. Okay. I don't know where that comes from. Hey Chris, can you talk about the training for being a chaplain's assistant, or just like being an admin clerk mixed with bodyguard training? I don't really know what the training is like. I've known a couple of chaplain's assistants, and they do a lot of stuff with the chaplain. But as far as what the training is like, I would have to research it. I'm not familiar with what the training is like, so I couldn't tell you. You tagged me, Eldorado? I'll have to look. I'll have to see if it pops up. But if you have a private Instagram account, it might not show up for me. So, do you know what the next 2-Minute Tuesday will be? I suggested what the longest contract could be on the last 2-Minute Tuesday. Yes, the next 2-Minute Tuesday is about Army food. So I already shot it. It's already ready, scheduled for Tuesday. So it's ready to go for Tuesday. But it'll be about kind of like chow hall food, what to expect, what food is like in the Army. Because that was when I did the poll, the #1 thing that everybody voted on was the what I did for the last one, which was about like how long you can be in the military, and the shortest and longest. And then second thing that did the next second best was Army food. So I might still do the ID card one, even though that didn't have a lot of votes. But I don't know. It'd basically just be explaining what is made up of the ID card and kind of the breakdown of it. I don't know. It doesn't sound super exciting, so I don't know. I might do another poll to kind of figure out what the one after this Tuesday will be. We'll see though. Dang, wish I didn't join the stream late, but I do want to ask, what do soldiers do on their birthday while in service, preferably active duty? We're not really late. Was it 6/6? You're fairly early. We're only, I don't know, how long are we into this? Not very long into this, I don't think. I forgot to kind of time this to see where we're at, but we're only maybe like 12 minutes into it, not very long. But as far as birthdays, I don't know, sometimes you don't really get anything special, so no different than anybody else. Sometimes people give you a hard time if they find out it's your birthday. Sometimes your squad leader might know, because he might have your information. People might give you bring a cake in. I don't know, it's really no different than like a civilian job. The Army really doesn't do anything special for it, so. Ever been to Fort Bliss? I have not. No, I have not been to Fort Bliss. So, hey man, just swore into the Army a few days ago, 88 November. Well, good luck to ya. Hopefully it works out amazingly. Does expunge juvenile records affect enlistment if I want to try out for the 75th Rangers? Probably not. Probably not. Like, a lot of juvenile stuff doesn't apply unless it's something really major and it was pretty close to when you were turning 18. If it's something that's already been removed from your record, then it's probably not going to show up. So you'll probably be okay, I would imagine. It also depends on what the offense was for. If you had a juvenile record for like some massive like cocaine dealing or something crazy, you might still have an issue. I don't know. I'm sure they probably, when you're doing the security clearances, they can look into some of that stuff. So if it's something pretty heavy and pretty massive, it might. But if it's something minor, like, I don't know, you had like maybe got in a fight, or you stole some candy out of a supermarket, I don't know, then it might not be that big of a deal. So, would like to know about MPs. I don't really know a whole lot about MPs. Basically just police stuff. Something they're not always doing police stuff though, because they rotate through different shifts. Sometimes they're on patrol, doing stuff in their patrol cars, and sometimes they're doing just other kind of stuff. By the way, I am skipping through the comments fairly much. I mean, I kind of backtrack a little bit and come forward. If I miss your comment or your question and you still want to know more information about it, you can try asking again. Maybe I'll see it the second time around. If I still don't get to it, don't feel offended. It's Probably not anything personal, most likely. But you can always go and come back to this video after it's been published and it's post live. It's, you know, it's, I always forget the wording for it, but after it's already been, you know, processed from being live, and you can leave a comment and I can always answer it in the comment section as well. Oh yeah, also with that, I will probably also be doing another show that I'm going to test out. It won't be this Wednesday, but probably the next Wednesday, where I'm going to go through and find like comments that I feel are pretty kind of like important to know the answers. Damn cat. The comments that are probably important to know the answers to, where I'll kind of do a video where I'm answering comments that people leave on videos. So if I see a question asked in the comment section of a video, and I feel like it's a pretty good question that maybe has a answer that maybe other people would want to know about, then I'll probably add that into the video, and I'll probably maybe try that out as another series as well. So, is there a specific day you do the polls? Not really. I kind of just figure it out and be like, once I figure out some ideas, I'll be like, oh, let's see what they think. So not really. Maybe I should be better about that and have like a set day to do polls. Maybe like, I don't know, probably something good for like a Wednesday or something like that. Maybe like after 2 Minute Tuesday, like the next day. I don't know though. I'll have to maybe figure that something out. Sometimes it's just a random thing. Can you pre-enlist? If so, where? You can get the not the selective service, the delayed entry program. So if you qualify for the delayed entry program, you can kind of enlist, and then you're in the delayed entry program. And sometimes if you have a recruiting station nearby you, you can do different things like do PT with them and everything. I think actually, isn't Eduardo? Aren't you in that program? Maybe, I don't remember. But that's kind of how it works. You can kind of do some stuff here and there, like with the recruiters, and then when it comes time for you to get ready to go, then just finish up the process. What is the Chaos Tour about? Just a chance to meet up with awesome people. So that's the idea. I wanted to try to do something to where, say thanks and go to the locations where most of the viewers and subscribers come from, as far as the larger percentage of it, according to the YouTube analytics. And according to YouTube's analytics, California and Texas have the largest amount of viewers and subscribers for my channel. So that was just my attempt to come meet you guys. There's only a few handful of people that have RSVP'd to it, but if you are still interested, there's still time. The Colorado Springs one will be closing pretty soon. It'll probably close on Wednesday. So if there is anybody wanting to go to the Colorado Springs one, that will close on Wednesday, and then Wednesday of the next week, all the other dates are going to be closing. So just to make sure that I have locked in a good estimate of how many people are going to show up. So if you are still interested in showing up, make sure you go to ChristopherChaos.com/tour and RSVP, so you will get the email as to where the location will be in that city for the meetup. So, Chris, can you show us your cat? I don't know where she went. She's creepy. I have 2 cats. 2 cats, 2 dogs. Well, technically 3 cats, but one's an outside cat that I just kind of take care of. Because I don't want to be mean, and not really that interested in that cat, but at the same time, I do love animals still, so can't be totally mean, so I keep feeding it and giving it water, and it lives in this little hut outside that I keep insulated so that it stays nice and warm during the wintertime, because it doesn't like being inside. But otherwise, I have 3 cats and 2 dogs. But Penny was the one that's down here making a lot of noise. I don't know where she went to. The other one is Clark. And then the outside one is Bella. And the 2 dogs, if you want to care about the names, is Clutch and Zod. I did tag you, sorry. I had my account on private, but now you should be able to see it. Sorry, not a big deal, man. I'll check it out and see if I can see it later. Any advice for a kid that wants to join the military at the age of 17? Get in good shape. That's usually my biggest thing is, do some research maybe to help you out a little bit, learn the rank structure, learn about different, customs and courtesies. And then the biggest one is be in shape. It's not necessarily a must, because that's what basic training is for, is to get you in shape and learn, teach you all that stuff. But it does help if you kind of have almost like a head start. So if you can go into it and be in fairly decent shape, then maybe it helps. I wasn't. I was not very well prepared. I didn't do any research. I didn't do anything. Yes, cat. Do you have any funny experiences when you were in the military? Probably a lot. I don't know, I'd have to think of it off the top of my head. Maybe I'll save it for one of those Cruising with Chaos episodes. I'll have to see from there. Biggest regret in being in the military? I'm just curious if you're willing to answer. Hey, thanks Buckshot for subscribing if you're in this live stream. Sorry, I was going to go back to that. Biggest regret in the military. I'm just curious if you are willing to answer it. By the way, thanks. No problem. Biggest regret? I didn't, like, I wish I would have, instead of, like, when I went on leave, I would always go home, back to California and visit family. I wish I would have done something like, just switched it up a little bit. Sometimes go maybe like half of the time to visit with family and the other half of the time of vacation to go somewhere cool that I'd never been to and go on an adventure. And I didn't get a chance to really do that. It would have been pretty easy to do in the military, and I didn't get a chance. I would have, you know, it would have been fun. Would have been cool to do. I also wish I was better at YouTube when I was in the Army, because I think I would have been a lot better, a lot more ahead on my YouTube game had I been better at it and been more successful when I was doing it in the Army. Because I did stuff when I was in the Army with making YouTube videos, but I wasn't very good at it back then. And that stuff's still on this channel, by the way. I had the Soldier to Civilian series, and I did a remake of it, which kind of makes it a little bit better. But if you watch the original Soldier to Civilian series, I wasn't very good at making videos back then. You're always constantly learning, though. Is it more common for guys to cheat on their girlfriends in the military? I don't know. I don't know if it's really kind of like a male, female, who's worse, who's bad, because I've heard of stories both sides. So I don't think it matters. Any person could possibly have that happen. Thanks for telling me the live stream time on Instagram. No problem. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, I don't know, is it better for me to schedule them on the channel or just go live when I get the chance to? I probably would make it like 7:30 all of the time for Colorado time zone, wherever time zone you're in. You have to adjust for it, but I don't know if there's really a good advantage to scheduling them compared to just going live and letting you guys know that, hey, on Saturday or Sunday I do it. But I don't know. Talk about military colleges. There's really technically military colleges. There's only a few. I don't know what the Marines one is. It's probably in California, though. I don't know, though, for sure. But you have the Air Force one, which is here in Colorado Springs, and then West Point. But that's really the military colleges. There's other colleges that offer ROTC programs. That's different. So, have you ever ran into a person who posed as a military and wasn't? I have not. I sometimes question people with the signs on the side of the road, sometimes saying they're a veteran, because I feel like if they were a disabled veteran, they'd be receiving VA money, and they shouldn't be homeless. I don't know. But everybody has their own different situations. But then again, you could still be a veteran, but because you committed like a felony, you lost your VA benefits. I don't know. I'm always skeptical about that. But I've never run into anybody who was like pretending to be in the military, but I could tell wasn't or anything like that. Any advice for 11 Bravo? Not really. I know a lot of people that were 11 Bravos, but I'm not very good at giving advice. I'm going to do it hopefully soon, maybe. Do a little live stream with my friend David, who was an 11 Bravo and airborne and everything. Went through SF selection and everything, and have him on the live stream with like a via Skype thing or something, and do some kind of like a special 11 Bravo live stream. I just need to coordinate with him. We can do it at some point in time. What do you think of your first video? I saw something earlier. You were talking about what do you think of your first video attack on Iraq? I think that's the name. Yeah, that was my first upload I did on this channel. It wasn't my first ever YouTube video, really, because I used to have another channel called Chaos Productions, and that was like my original intent was I was into video production, and I had this, you know, video production YouTube channel that I was going to make music videos and documentaries on and all that kind of stuff, and it didn't pan out that well. And that one had my first YouTube ever video, and that was back when like YouTube first started. I think I was still in Iraq when I made that channel. But that video, I saw your comment on there and everything. But that video I uploaded a couple years after I made that video. I made that video, and I think I posted it to MySpace back when MySpace was a thing. And then when I started this YouTube channel, I posted it to that YouTube channel, or this one. And I think it was about 2 years after I made that video, because I was looking at that today, and I made that video posted that video on here like in 2008, and I made that video probably like in 2006. So, Are you issued a sidearm with your rifle? Only certain MOSs. I know, like tankers will, officers will, senior NCOs a lot of times will have that, but not everybody would have a sidearm with their rifle. So, going to basic training soon as an infantryman. Do you have any advice for getting in shape before I get shaped up for shipped off to Fort Jackson? Just, you know, do a lot of running. Cardio really helps. If you can do a lot of cardio is really big, because that's a lot of what you need, is that stamina, that cardio, to be able to, you know, keep up with everything and do all that stuff. So I would say do a lot of running, do some road marches if you can. You know, grab a backpack or something that's sturdy that you can put on your shoulders with enough weight in the thing, like probably like 35 pounds or something, and go for like, you know, a 5-6 mile walk with that bag on, and kind of just work on that, work on a lot of cardio and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever had a reunion with the Marines and Navy and had a fight? What? Have I ever had? No. I've never done any kind of reunion with any other branches. I know people that were in other branches. You know, when you're a veteran, nobody cares who was what. I mean, Marines seem like they usually do, but the couple of Marines that I know, they don't really give a crap. What is life like in the barracks? Kind of get a little bit of a video about that, talking about the single life. I guess I really don't dive that much into the barracks life, though. I don't know. Maybe I have to do a video eventually on the barracks life, what that's like, because I've lived both in the barracks and outside the barracks and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know. But as far as I like to answer your question, I don't know, sometimes it sucks because people coming in to check on you. Ghost Wolf, thanks for joining the Chaos Army. But I mean, like, your NCOs come check on you. If something like the hallway's dirty, then, you know, everybody has to suffer for it and clean the hell out of the barracks. And sometimes there's a lot of partying going on in the barracks, and sometimes if you're not interested in partying, you're just trying to get some rest because you got duty the next day or something like that, then it sucks because you're trying to sleep or whatever. And sometimes it's good if you do like partying, because you can just jump from room to room and go party. I don't know. I'll have to maybe elaborate more on that and do a video or something. Is it hard to become an Army sniper? Sort of. I don't know a whole lot about it. I've known a couple people that have done it. It's a special school you go to, and you get an identifier that makes you sniper qualified, and some people like that. And I've also talked to a guy recently where he was talking about how that kind of held him back from being able to get promoted, because not a lot of people had that sniper identifier, so he kept on getting stuck in roles being like section leaders for like the sniper squad, or, you know, for sniper sections when he needed to get some, you know, platoon sergeant time, and he didn't get a chance to do that to make like E7, and he said that kind of, you know, held him back a little bit. So sometimes that can hold you back, maybe in some cases. Do not snoop, but how much money do you get? I probably won't disclose that. You're talking about like from VA money? How much VA money do you get? Yeah, I won't. It's anywhere from, I'll give you a ballpark, because like even like a 10% rating person can receive, what is it, like 100 and something, 200 and something bucks a month, I think it is. I forget, for the lowest rating. And then the highest one, you're like 100% disabled from the VA. And I think that's like 2,800 or something like that. I think just under 3,000. So anywhere between that ballpark is what you usually can make if you have different like service-related injuries or service-related conditions from being in the military. Can you do a collab with Matt Ward? Maybe, if he wanted to do something. I wouldn't care. I would not mind if he wanted to. We'd have to figure something out. We'd have to meet up somewheres or go to him, or I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind really doing a collab with almost anybody if they wanted to. I just don't know too much of what to do. That's the hard part. Is what are we gonna do if we did a collab? So, hey ChrisChaos, you worked with soldiers in the National Guard. If so, what state and what do you think of their military manner? Did I do anything with National? I've done stuff with reservists. I don't know if I've done anything with National Guard people. I'm not 100% sure if I've ever done National Guard stuff. I know reservists, but National Guard I'm not sure about. So I can't really give you a good, you know, explanation as far as what I thought. Hey Chris, when will the next gaming live stream be? I very much enjoyed the last one. I don't know. I thought about trying to do it more often as a thing, because I want to try to increase the amount of content that I have on my channel. Because I'm hoping that, you know, builds more interest in wanting to come back to the channel and watch stuff. But as far as another gaming episode, I don't know. I might maybe... Would I be able to do it? I might be able to do it next weekend. We'll see. Maybe in the middle of the week. Probably a weekend would probably be easier though. I don't know for sure when I'll do the next one. I take my ASVAB tomorrow. Any tips? Well, tomorrow's really quick. I mean, you can probably look online. They probably have a bunch of practice tests online if you want to try to do some last minute cramming and try some stuff out. But I've seen several websites that have like practice ASVAB tests you could take online and kind of get a good idea. So I would try that. What's the picture on the first channel you made? There is so many names like it. I don't even know if I have access to that channel anymore. I probably do somewhere, but it should have the logo. You're talking about the Chaos Productions one. It had a Z on the end, by the way. It was Chaos Productions. And the logo was like a biohazard logo mixed with a nuclear hazard. I had matched together, and then it's got like a red glow behind it. So I think it's got that. And that one, I don't remember what videos are on that channel. But I don't even know if I have access to that channel. So if you leave comments and stuff like that, I probably won't be able to see them. So I won't know about them. But something like that. My dad was infantry. Awesome. Do you learn martial arts like jiu-jitsu or karate? You can. Like I did combatives. And combatives is basically jiu-jitsu. It's basically Gracie jiu-jitsu. And so I did level 1. I didn't go too far in it, but I did do level 1 combatives, which teaches you a lot of stuff like takedowns, how to like move from, you know, mount or from like guard to mount, and how to get out of, you know, being mounted, how to do different submissions like arm bar, rear naked chokes, guillotines, and stuff like that. So you do a little bit of that if you do combatives training. And then if you do more of the combatives training, like level 2, level 3, then you'll start learning a little bit more about like punching and kicking. You don't really learn much about punching and kicking or anything in level 1. Level 1's mostly ground stuff for like the jiu-jitsu part, but it was kind of cool. It was kind of interesting. Did you ever screw up in basic training, and if so, what was your punishment? No, I didn't really screw up. I did all right. I think you would just have the moments where they yell at you for no reason, make you do push-ups for no reason, but as far as actually screwing up, I don't think so. I don't remember ever screwing up from that. I'm not saying I was perfect, but I don't remember ever screwing anything up. There was a time we were at close that I remember, like the first day of actual, you know, we got out of reception and you went to actual basic training part, and we had to do a layout of all of our gear, and you had these combination locks on your bag. And they want you to open up the bag, dump everything out, so they can do it. So you can do like a little check to make sure that you have everything right. And I'm fighting with my combination trying to get it open, and I see a few people down from me, you know, having the same kind of issue where they're trying to get that combination lock open. And one guy finally gets it open just as like the drill sergeant's, you know, yelling at him and everything like that. He grabs his stuff, starts flinging it everywhere because he took forever trying to get his bag open. And those people kind of delayed it to give me a little bit more of a you know, time to get mine to lock open, but I finally got mine open, dumped my bag out before the drill sergeant got to me, because otherwise that could have been me also getting my stuff thrown around. Don't do a collab with Ward. Thank you very much. Why not? Doesn't seem like a bad guy. I don't know. Please look at my first vids playlist. If I remember, I'll check it out. Leaving Leonard Wood in 7 days. Ugh. Good luck to you. So you're leaving Leonard Wood? So you're in Fort Leonard Wood right now? That's where I did my AIT at. Back in the late no, was it 99? Yeah, the end of 99 time frame. So, what's the chow like in basic training? It's basically the same as a lot of the other chow everywhere else. It's pretty much the same all around. But you just have a little bit more restrictions because they don't want you, you know, you can't be looking around. You can't really get short order until towards the end sometimes not at all. You have to stick to mainline. Chris, is there extra pay for those who go through the Defense Language Institute to learn a foreign language, or if you already speak a second language? They do have a test that you can take if you know a second language, and I think you get like $100 extra a month. So basically $50 extra a paycheck. I'm not sure the exact amount. I want to say that's what it is. I knew a guy who, I think he took the test because he knew Spanish, and he got that identifier added to it to where he gets paid. He got paid like a little bit extra. I don't remember how much it is. It's not a whole lot by knowing an extra language, and I don't think like if you know like multiple languages, I don't think you can combine them to get like double. I don't think so. It's not a whole lot of extra money. Was it worth doing 88 mic? If not for me, I really just kind of did it just to get into the military and get the experience. If you're someone who wants to maybe be a truck driver outside of the military and do a lot of stuff, then maybe it'd be better for you. But I probably wish I would have done something else. But it was a good learning experience. So thanks for answering my question on Instagram. Well, no problem, Jacob. Chow is good and basic if the drill sergeants let you eat it. You have to hurry up and eat too, so you don't really get a whole lot of chance to like really enjoy the food. You have to pretty much hurry up and eat. It's kind of a crazy, you know, you learn how to eat food pretty quick. Did you get the infamous peanut butter shot? If so, is it really that bad? So if you're talking about the penicillin shot, yeah, it sucks. It leaves like it leaves like a little bit of a lump that you kind of trying to massage out and try to spread the penicillin around. Otherwise, your butt's kind of sore for a while, and you have to do, you know, sit down and do stuff, and that kind of sucks. Yeah, but yeah, it does make your butt kind of sore. So if you're talking about the penicillin shot, I'm in JRTC. I have to take squad leader rank test. Any tips? I have no idea. I've never done JROTC, so I don't even know what's included in that test. What's on the test for a squad leader test? If you can tell me that, maybe I can give you some kind of pointers on how to hopefully pass that. I don't know though. Probably not though. What MOS would you do now? Wait, I missed that. What MOS would you do now with what you know today? I would probably do something more along the lines of what I'm interested in, like the television, radio stuff. So they have an actual MOS for it. I don't remember what the MOS is, but they have an MOS where you do video production stuff and you do work on the radio and things like that. And that would have been kind of cool. I didn't learn that existed until I met somebody who was doing that when I was in Korea. And I was like, man, that'd be sweet. But, yep. What kind of food do they serve? Everything. There's all sorts of different types of food, from just your common things you could think of. They usually have different menu items. They'll have, the short order is usually the same kind of stuff, which is the fast food type of items, like your burgers and your hot dogs, and that stuff usually stays for the most part the same. They'll change up a few of the items. And then your mainline stuff is more of like just your normal healthier food, and that stuff will change up menus and they'll do different things. So that just depends. How long have you been in the military for? I was in the Army for 10 years, slightly over 10 years before I got out. Do you know any MPs? I don't know any active duty MPs. I think I know, what, two veterans that used to be MPs. I think it was. So, hey, I caught up on the comments. Been skipping around a lot, so I probably skipped quite a few comments. Let's go backwards a little bit. I'll check out some of the previous ones. What was the worst time you've been smoked? Probably during basic training, and I don't know. There was times where we just got smoked for like a long time doing push-ups. There was one time they had us get into our sleeping bags and go over and under the bunk beds. That was pretty tiring, doing it that way, doing the worm. So that was pretty rough. Scroll back through a little ways more, see what else I missed. Know that you know how to join the Army. Would you join the Air Force, and what job would you choose? Air Force is not too bad. I don't know, maybe join the Air Force, like if I go back in time and do that. I was originally going to join the Air Force and be a mechanic, but the Army recruiter was more persistent than the Air Force one, so I didn't hear a whole lot about the Air Force as I did about the Army, so I ended up going to the Army. But if I knew like the same, like go back in time kind of a thing, then maybe go back and do, because you could do the same thing, the video and radio in the Air Force, and it'd probably be easier than doing it in the Army, I'd imagine. I don't know though. What happens if your issued weapon breaks? Do you have to pay for it? No, not so. Maybe if you were just being careless and somehow broke it, maybe they could potentially. Maybe not though. Still, but if it's just something wrong with it, then you have to turn it in and somebody will fix it. So I wouldn't say that it's a thing that you usually have to fix unless you were just, you know, careless with it. Chris, will the Army get rid of the dress blues completely for the retro pinks and greens? Asked by John. No. So the idea with the pinks and greens was to make it a daily uniform kind of a thing. So if you worked in like an office or something, then you would wear that instead of wearing the camouflage uniform. And they would still have the ASUs, the Army Service uniforms, like the dress blues, for special occasions. So they wouldn't replace it. It would just be something addition added to it. So it just depends. Did you get good MRE? Sometimes, Gabriel. Just depends. I don't remember. Like the menus have changed now so much that, like, I used to like the spaghetti one. The spaghetti one has pretty good stuff in it. Now the spaghetti doesn't have the same contents in it, because I've gotten a hold of the spaghetti one recently, and it wasn't the same contents as what it used to be before. So 42 Romeo, 42 Quebec Public Affairs. Those are MOSs you were talking about being in if you had another chance, Chris. Well, thank you, Skechers Kid Gaming. So there you go. Yeah, it was something along those lines. I think that's what they were for the public affairs. They had these cool jobs. I wouldn't mind working with video production or something in the Army. Like, I wouldn't go back in now. It's too late now. I don't know if I think I could, but I wouldn't be an NCO anymore. I wouldn't be a sergeant anymore. I'd have to start over on that part. Not completely over on my rank. I'd probably have to go back to being like a specialist or an E4. But so I definitely wouldn't want to do that. But I like the civilian job that I do now, and the goal really is to, you know, get really good at YouTube stuff and, you know, build a larger audience and do this full time, so I can just dedicate my time to creating great content on YouTube. That's ideally the goal. So not going back to the military. What was the process of joining the Army? Short and sweet. Talk to a recruiter. Talk about your options. Go to MEPS. Get a physical and everything else done, and then they can narrow down your options based on your ASVAB scores and your physical scores and everything like that. So actually, probably around the same time you talk to the recruiter, you also got to take an ASVAB test, and then MEPS, and then after all that stuff like that, lock in a MOS and a basic training date, and wait for that date to come before you ship out. That's the short and sweet version. What's usually on a military base that you can do on your free time? They usually don't have a whole lot of entertainment stuff. Sometimes they have movie theaters. It doesn't seem like a big thing anymore, though. And the movie theaters, I think, are really cheap, too, when they did have movie theaters. Like, they used to have one in Fort Carson. I don't think they use it for movies anymore, though. They just use it for briefings. Otherwise, I don't know. As far as stuff you can do in your free time, sometimes they have like a sort of like a bar, a little restaurant usually is what it is, more like a sports bar really. But there's not really not a lot of bases have good stuff on post to do on your free time. Most people go off post for their free time because there's more to offer, hopefully. Like when I'm trying to think about it with Fort Carson, there's not really a whole lot really on Fort Carson. Most of the stuff's off base. How often did the Army drug test? Quite often, Caesar. I think there was times where I would do one twice a month. Sometimes I would do one every other month. I think there was some times where I did 3 or 4 in a month. So it's not really like a set standard as far as how often they'll do it, but they do sometimes do it pretty often. So it can be annoying at times. Chris, what is your stance on medical marijuana for vets with PTSD? I don't know. I don't really research into that stuff. I feel like if it's helpful, then cool. I haven't seen a lot of research on it or heard a lot of people that do that, so I don't know. But I would say it's fine. I don't personally choose to do any kind of marijuana or anything. I can't even if I wanted to because I have a security clearance and work for a federal job, so I can't. But I feel like it's, from the stuff that I've seen, it seems like it is better for you than alcohol. So it doesn't seem like that big of a deal to me. I feel if they can legalize alcohol, they should be able to legalize marijuana. How to become a truck driver for the military. You become an 88 Mike. Zombie Mods Productions. Basically, that's probably the best way to be a truck driver. 88 Mike. If you're single, can always join Boss. Are you telling about somebody else? Yeah. For the stuff you do on post. Sometimes they don't, like, I've done that before, like when I was single in the military, and I was like what was I think I was the vice president for the Boss program in Korea. I think so. I think I was the vice president for the Boss program in Korea. And sometimes they just didn't have a whole lot of stuff that the Boss program would do. You would try to organize things, and then not a lot of people wanted to come out to it because they'd rather go get wasted and go get drunk and do other things. So, and you can't really do that. You can't usually do alcohol-related events with the Boss program. So sometimes that's kind of tough too. Sometimes the Boss program doesn't put on a lot of events, but it just depends. Why did you decide to be a YouTuber? I just like video production. I like making videos. I used to make videos before YouTube, and I would just have them on my laptop and have my friends kind of gather around and check out this video I made, and they'd watch it on my laptop or put it on a disc and let them watch it. And then when MySpace was around, then I would upload my videos to MySpace, and I would have them on my profile, and friends that followed me on MySpace would be able to see the videos I made. And then when YouTube came about, then it just was another new platform to be able to upload videos for. So I got into YouTube and started putting my creative videos on YouTube and going that route. So that's kind of what it was. It was back in 2003 I kind of got into doing video stuff. So I started doing video stuff back then. So I don't have like a little counter. Like normally, because when I schedule these videos, it tells me how long I've been live for. This one doesn't tell me, so I'm guessing I've been live for, oh, I guess I can look at this over here. Maybe. No, maybe not. I guess I can look over here. So I've been about 43 minutes. It's about 40 minutes. Okay. Because usually I only do these for about an hour. So I'm just checking to see how long we've been going for. So what advice do you have for someone who leaves for basic tomorrow? It's kind of just good luck from here. It's going to be rough. Your first week will be just reception stuff, and then after that week is when it gets really, down into it. And you also do like a little PT test, so be ready to do a PT test within the first, I think, 2 days, something like that. And it's like a very low standard PT test though that you have to do. It's like you're only doing 1 mile run. You're only doing like half the sit-ups that you need to do and half the push-ups that you need to do to pass the regular physical fitness test. And then if you pass that, then you can get to move on to the next week, which is actually starting basic training. But if you can't complete that, then they try to whip you into shape a little bit to try to get you to at least pass those minimum standards before they can advance you to actually starting basic training. So good luck. If you're actually leaving to basic training tomorrow, good luck to you. Make sure to come back to Chaos Live or somewhere else and let me know how things have gone or things have went, because I don't know what the stance is anymore on them letting you use the internet. I would imagine you get to use the internet much at all, if at all, in basic training. Probably not until you get to AIT or whatever. And if you're to OSIT, then I have no idea. Maybe not at all. So, what is the BOSS program? I'm trying to remember what BOSS stands for. I remember what it stands for, but essentially is what it is it's like a single soldiers thing. I think that's what the SS stands for on the end, is single soldiers. But it's like a single soldier kind of program to try to help, soldiers that are single just have a good time, because married soldiers are usually off doing things with their family, their husband, wife, kids, whatever, where single soldiers, to hopefully keep them out of just wanting to go get wasted all the time and blow money on strippers, they have the BOSS program to usually help you find other activities, maybe go rafting or to go hiking or do some other kind of cool adventures that the BOSS program tries to kind of organize for the single soldiers to get away from just saying screw it and go get wasted all the time. So that's kind of what the BOSS program essentially is a program for single soldiers to help keep them entertained so they don't become alcoholics, hopefully. That's not really what the intent is, but it's essentially what the intent is. It's been about 40 minutes. Yeah, I was checking that just a second ago. 45 minutes. Cool. So we're still okay. We still got about 15 minutes or so. We'll keep doing this for. Can you have a friend in one of your videos? I can. I'm planning on doing it with David, who was 11 Bravo, and did Airborne and everything like that. So we'll do an 11 Bravo special live stream. We'll Skype with him, because I'll just do it that way. It'd probably be easier than having to come over to the house. I mean, I could have him come to the house and some kind of special setup for like a 2-person live stream, because I have another camera that I could probably use. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll do it that way. It'd probably be easier just to Skype it, but I don't know. We'll figure something out. I might want to even do a series like that where I start doing like video series with other people that I know that were different MOSs and talking about that, rather than trying to do dedicated videos like I was going to do before, because it's just too hard to do it that way. Do you remember your physical fitness test score? I do not. I don't even know what a physical fitness test is. You're talking about the actual physical fitness tests that you do about every 6 months? I wasn't like a super stud at it. Sometimes, like, I never maxed the push-ups. There was a few times where I maxed the sit-ups. I never maxed the run. I was a pretty decent runner. Upper body was always my kind of weakness, because I was pretty skinny in the Army, so I didn't have a whole lot of upper body strength. So I wasn't super great at push-ups, but I was usually pretty good at sit-ups and running. But not only usually, that's the only event I ever usually maxed. Sometimes with sit-ups though. Chris, what was your parents' reaction to saying then joining the Army? Mine are just worried, mainly my mom. They thought it was cool. I don't think, like, at that time there was nothing going on in the military. The last war was back in what, 94, the Gulf War, so it had been 6 years since any kind of war conflict was really serious and happening at that time, because I joined in 99. So they weren't super worried about it. Like, I would imagine, like, nowadays families are a little bit more worried about it now because of the conflicts. You know, we just got done with Iraq and Afghanistan, but still kind of have a president in Afghanistan and still doing stuff over there. And then something else could still potentially come up with other countries, who knows, or go back to Iraq or whatever. So I'd imagine it's a lot tougher for families now, with more worrisome. Whereas my parents back then, because there wasn't anything happening when I first joined, they weren't all that worried about me. They were thrilled for me. Like, thought it was going to be a good experience. And then when all the stuff started happening, then that's when the worry kind of started settling in, I think. What are the most competitive officer branches for ROTC cadets? I don't know. I have never been through ROTC, so I could not give you that kind of intel, that kind of info. As an old vet myself, I still find it interesting to learn about the modern Army from guys like you and others. Thanks. Well, thanks, First Cav Man. Yeah, that's another thing I like about this channel, is that one, either I'm helping, usually 3 categories. Usually one, I'm helping someone who wants to join the Army at some point in time, or even the military in general, and just want to get a little bit of knowledge about stuff. 2, someone who was in the military and just want to know some things for nostalgia, for, you know, to see what things are like now compared to when they were in. Or 3 is just someone who has a general interest in, you know, wanting to know about the Army, but maybe don't have any intention of joining, or never served, never want to serve. They just are curious about it. So that's pretty cool. There are even some people that that are currently in the military, which I don't know why they like watching me, but I'm glad they do. So that's always cool. Still, even then, there's all sorts of different people. I skipped your question, Caleb. Let's see. Let's see if I can go back a little bit, and I'll try to find yours. What is the difference between officers and warrant officers, job-wise? Like, what do they do? There you go, Caleb. I'll get to your answer. So, officers, kind of more admin stuff. They're more of the organizers of things and training and missions, and kind of think of it as like an admin kind of person. Whereas a warrant officer is more of like a technical expert. So they are more responsible sometimes for training, actually doing the training on stuff, or maintaining of systems and different things. So it's kind of mainly, I would think of it that way. The main difference probably between officers and warrant officers is officers are more in the planning phase of things for operations and things, whereas a warrant officer is more of an expert in an area and, you know, focuses more on the training and maintaining of things. So that's kind of the difference, sort of. So there you go. Let's see, what else we have. If you were to go back in time, what would you have changed about your military experience? Kind of already answered that. I probably would have done a different job than being a truck driver, being 88 Mike. And I kind of answered it before with talking about how I would have traveled more rather than just always going home for vacation, for leave. But I guess that's my answer, I guess. How do I get my family to stop worrying about me joining the Army? They're getting really annoying. Any tips? No, you're probably screwed on that. They're gonna worry about you. It's what parents do. You know, you gotta think about it. You know, if you were on their side, you know, is there anything that your son or daughter is gonna be able to do to make you not worry? Probably not. That's just a parent thing. They're gonna worry. The best thing you can do is, you know, hopefully as you're in the military and you start, you know, tell them about all the fun stuff you're doing. Don't tell them about all the crappy stuff you're doing. Tell them about all the fun stuff you're doing and the great time you're having. Then that'll, you know, kind of settle down a little bit. But if you're telling them, oh man, we're getting ready to go to Afghanistan, we're doing all this training to prepare for, you know, attacking Russia or something crazy, right? Then, you know, then you're probably just going to worry more. But if you tell them, oh yeah, it's great, I've met a bunch of friends, I've, you know, getting to see all the local sites, we're getting to do this training, it's pretty cool, then that'll probably help. But if you tell them about all the crazy stuff you're doing, you might just worry them more. But there's probably nothing you can do at this point to try to make them worry less. Hey Chris, great channel. From your experience and or knowledge, what it's going to be like for me joining the Army at age 30. The main thing I usually tell people, I've told a couple people this before who are concerned with joining at a later age compared to, you know, a lot of people that join like when they're 18 or 19, or, you know, the early 20s even, is just be expected to be ragged on a little bit in basic training. Not that big of a deal. Hopefully you got thick enough skin that it's not going to bug you bad enough. But at the age of 30, people are going to call you old man. They're going to call you grandpa. They're going to give you crap for being 30, which 30 isn't very old at all. But when you're going to basic training with a lot of people that just graduated high school less than a year ago or so, and you're 30 years old, then you're going to be looked at as like this old guy. They're going to think that you can't keep up, and hopefully you're in good enough shape. You know, 30 isn't that old, so hopefully you're in decent shape and will be just fine, maybe even doing better than a lot of them because you have more experience and better fitness, who knows. But yeah, I would just say, kind of be expected that people are going to give you crap for your age in basic training. Once you get out of basic training, maybe a little bit, because you're going to be the same rank as if you're going enlisted, then you're going to be the same rank as other people who are like 18 years old and all that stuff. So you're going to be expected, you're going to need some crap mainly. Other than that, I don't think there's really that big of a deal if you being 30 in the Army. As long as you can keep up, I guess. Can you have facial hair in the Army? Not sort of-ish. There's a video that explains it a little bit better that I have on my channel called, was it Appearances? Something like that? I think Army Appearance, or I forget what it's specifically titled, but if you probably did a search on my channel for appearance, like appearance standards or something in the Army, you'd probably be able to find it, and it kind of outlines what kind of facial hair you can and can't have in the Army. But basically, it's like a mustache that doesn't touch the corners of your lips, and unless there's other circumstances for a shaven profile, but those have to be medical related. So I'd recommend check out that video. Kind of tells you a little bit better. We watch your channel because it's honest and informative, never boring, always interesting, and because it's simply awesome. Well, thank you, John McJunkin. You're awesome. Thank you for watching. Yeah, hopefully I got some ideas. I got my little whiteboard over here that I can't show you guys because it's top secret stuff. But it has me my ideas for upcoming videos. Sometimes it shuffles around a little bit because I started doing the research to put the video together, and I realized that I need to do some other things, or other topics come up first that other people want, and sometimes I'll shuffle it around a little bit. But over here I have my magical board that tells me ideas for upcoming videos, ideas for other shows, and the goal is to increase the amount of content that I have on this channel so you guys have more entertainment. But I don't want to overload you guys, so I don't remember if I asked you. I know I asked you about the live streams every weekend. A lot of people said that they would love having live streams every weekend, so maybe that'll be a thing if I can do so. But what about as far as regular content videos? I would ideally like to get it to a point where Monday through Friday there's videos, so 5 videos a week. I don't think I would really want to do it to where Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all that kind of every 7 days a week. I think if anything, it could possibly be 6 if I was doing live streams on the weekends too. But the other pre-recorded videos would be 5 days a week. What would you guys think about if I got to the point where I had 5 videos a week? Would you be interested in that, or you feel like that gets too busy and you're going to be too busy watching other videos from other creators that maybe you watch on a weekly basis or whatever? So let me know. Let me know in the chat how many videos a week would fit into your average watching time on YouTube. What rank are chopper pilots? Usually warrant officers commonly, but you can also be an officer. I don't think you can be an enlisted, be a helicopter pilot. Majority of helicopter pilots are warrant officers, though. But there are some that are officers, like lieutenants. Hey Chris, what's up? I'm a 25 uniform. I leave for basic in 3 months. Well, good luck to you. You're gonna be camo? Good luck with that. Fixing radios and doing all the. You'll do stuff with the JCR. Probably by the time, maybe shortly after you get out, you might be doing the JBCP system for the navigation system. If you get stationed in Fort Carson, you might want to take my. And I'm still haven't blown up and become huge on YouTube. Then you can come take my class. And I'll teach you how to use the JCR and how to maintain it. So, good luck to you. What made you want to join the Army? The recruiter was more persistent. I don't really... Like, originally I wanted to be a mechanic, and I figured the Army would have a lot of vehicles for me to work on in the Army, so the Army was better, but I didn't end up becoming a mechanic. So, my cat is getting crazy again. It was meowing. It's distracting, Penny. Distracting me. Did you get any nasty blisters in basic training? I don't know about like really bad ones. I did get blisters like on my feet because you got brand new boots. You're trying to do these road marches in brand new boots, which is not good. It's always best to have like boots that are broken into, so that way you can have a little bit more movement in them. But I don't know about anything like super bad, but definitely get blisters from doing road marches. So that can be rough on the feet sometimes. We're getting close to the hour, so we'll probably have to cut this off. Maybe then we'll go about 5-10 more minutes before this will have to cut off. So make sure you get your questions in if you have your questions. Have you ever thought about doing story times? I am doing story times here real soon. Wednesday is the first test of that. So Brennan, if you are interested in story time videos, make sure you check out the video on Wednesday. It's going to be called Cruising with Chaos. Actually, I won't say that in the title, though, but that's kind of the name of the show, really, is Cruising with Chaos, where I'm driving around. I have my GoPros rigged up for some story times, and I tell you all about what it was like for me going through basic training. And so if you like that series and you want more story time type of videos, then make sure you show it some love on Wednesday, so that way I know to continue doing that series. So... Lovable Xena, I would be interested. Are we talking about the 5 videos a week? I don't know. You gotta let me know. What are you interested in? Skechers Kid Gaming, me too. I'm assuming you guys are talking about the 5 videos a week idea thing. That's kind of what it looks like we're on the topic of. Though it would be great having 5 videos a week, but 2 to 3 are better, so you don't have to stress too much. I think with me having a day job, 2 and 3 are somewhat manageable sometimes not so much. Sometimes it's a struggle to get those videos out because I have a day job and a family that I have to spend some time with and not neglect them by going to work and then YouTube and then not having any family time, so you gotta kind of juggle it all together. But at some point I would love to get it to where I don't have a day job and YouTube is my day job, but I have to increase somehow. So somewhere along that way I'm gonna have to increase the amount of content that I'm putting out or something to be able to build a bigger audience to be able to make that a reality. So you're my favorite YouTuber. I have learned a lot from you, Chris. Well, thank you, Lovable Xena. 5 videos a week would be absolute chaos. Good, that's good one. So we'll see. Maybe if that would be the goal, maybe at some point in time. I watch TV shows, news, and sports 5 days a week, so 5 of Chaos Live would be just as cool. I wouldn't be able to do 5 live streams. I think that would get probably too boring. I don't know though. I feel like that would be too crazy of doing this specific show 5 days a week. I don't think that would work out too well. I don't know. It just has to be maybe only at a max once a week kind of a thing, unless I'm throwing in like a gaming and this, which occasionally I might do, but I don't really know how many people are interested in watching me play video games. I know there are a couple of you that said that they are interested in that, but I don't know how well overall that would do. 2 vids a week. I like 2-minute vids on Tuesday. Well, awesome. 5 vids a week would be a lot to watch unless they have nudity. You don't want a video with me that have nudity if that's what you're asking. Question, can you bring the cat before the live stream ends? I don't know. I don't know where she went now. She gets her little moods where she's running around meowing at me and then she disappears. So I don't know. Chris, you think you could ever qualify for Green Beret or 75th Rangers? Not now. I don't even know if I probably wasn't. I wasn't in super great shape back when I was in the Army. I was in decent shape, but I don't think I was in good enough shape back then to probably make it through RASP or Q course or anything like that, or selection. So I don't think I would have. I think I would have been, unless maybe like a really, you know, trained for it and maybe got into better shape. But at the shape that I was in the Army, no, I don't think I would have. I don't think I would have made it. Chris, they say all soldiers remember their drill sergeants or their names. Do you remember yours? Do I remember their names? I think I remember one of his name. I think his last name was Alexander, Staff Sergeant Alexander or Alexanders. I don't think I remember the other two. I remember I had three. I can pretty much remember what they look like. Also have a picture. Can't see it here, but I moved it up there. I have a picture of my basic training picture up there from my platoon that I was in basic training with, and it has them in that picture. I remember two of them were 11 Bravos, because you'll hear a little bit more about it in story time, I think, but about how my basic training kind of worked a little bit. But I had two of them that were 11 Bravos, and I think the third one was an MP. So I don't remember. I think the MP one was, I think his last name was Alexanders, but I don't remember for sure. I don't remember the name of the other two though. Favorite fast food? Taco Bell probably. Favorite rank in the Army? I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite rank. I don't know. Being a sergeant was fine, but... Alright, we'll do a couple more questions, and then we're going to be cutting this off here in a little bit. More PUBG. I suck horribly at PUBG. You're just watching a live stream of me getting annihilated by people who play that game way more than I do and are way better at first-person shooters. Like, I can do okay at probably like campaign missions, so I have a game that I downloaded. I haven't installed it yet and tried it out yet, but I'm going to probably try it out for the next little gaming live stream that I do, whenever that is. And it's an Army one, and it has a story mode that I might do the story mode on the live stream, because I feel like that'll be a lot easier to do compared to watching me get wrecked, unless you just think it's funny watching me get wrecked. Let's see. I want to see you play video games. Yeah, we'll try to do some more. So I'm glad to hear that there are some of you that are enjoying the gaming ones. So yeah, I might try to somehow incorporate that. I don't know if it'll be incorporated into the weekly schedule. I don't know. We'll have to see. 2 to 3 is perfect. 5 is not worth all the stress. Eventually, I don't know, I gotta do something. Like, I had a good peak in subscribers recently and viewers. That peak is kind of going downhill a little bit, so I feel like I gotta do something to get that to come back up again, to get other people interested in, to draw more people in. We gotta increase the numbers of the Chaos Army, people. So, watching Chris play PUBG and No Man's Sky is fun and entertaining. Well, awesome. Thanks, Sketcher Kid Gaming. I could always probably do like No Man's Sky again. I would have to do it with the controller. I did charge up the controller, so I do have the controller charged up for the next time I do actually do it, because using the keyboard kind of sucks. So, are you playing Black Ops 4? I am not. I'm not a big fan of the Call. I mean, some of the older Call of Duty stuff was pretty cool. The newer ones started getting a little crazy when they started doing more futuristic stuff, and I wasn't really into that. But like the older ones, I think the last Call of Duty I was really playing was like was it 4? Call of Duty 4 or something like that, Modern Warfare. I think that was the last good one that I liked. After that, it started getting too crazy with it. A couple more questions, and we're calling this from the new series. I thought the part of the guys being on Suicide Watch was surprising. Sorry for little spoilers. Yes, spoilers. Eduardo happens to be one of the Patreon members, so if you want to be like Eduardo and be able to check out some of the content that I publish before everybody else, then make sure you join the Patreon. I have 6 right now, which is cool. I'm happy if I have more than 1, or at least 1, really. But if you want extra content, like right now, because I have it on in like incognito mode, so you can't see stuff, but there is an early access video, which is right here, and that is early access to Wednesday's video and you can watch it now. Or if you want to wait till Wednesday, I understand. You can do whatever you want to do. You can wait till Wednesday, but I'm going to start trying to do that where like the test videos, things that I'm testing out new video series or new video ideas or something like that. I'll probably have it to where like Patreon members get to watch those first before everybody else and all that fun stuff. So that's what I'm doing over there. All right. So I think we're going to get to the end here. I don't see, looks like we're about just a little bit past the hour mark. If one more question pops up before I close it out, maybe I'll answer that. But I don't see Penny around, so I can't. It doesn't look like I'll get to show you the cat. I don't know. Let me see. Kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Penny. Hey. I don't know where she's at. So you probably won't get to see the cat. She's a polydactyl, by the way. So she's got thumbs. So I don't know where she's at though. So I can't show you that. But so Chaos Live Tour going on. Those are the dates. If you want to visit ChristopherChaos.com/tour, then you can check that out and you can see the dates. And if you're interested in any of those dates, whether it be Colorado Springs, which is going to be closing on Wednesday, or if you're interested in Los Angeles, Dallas, or Denver, those dates will close the following Wednesday to where RSVPs will be closed. Make sure you RSVP so you get the email to let you know where the meetup location will be and all that fun stuff. So if you're interested in any of those dates, they're down below, ChristopherChaos.com/tour, and you want to meet me, hang out, chat for about an hour, it'd be a great time. And then if that works out well, then maybe we'll do another one next year or something like that in a different format or some other way or whatever. Then also, if you want a sticker, I do have Chaos stickers available for you. If you want to send me a envelope that is self-addressed with a stamp on it, I will throw a Chaos sticker, which looks like the examples there on the screen, and I will throw a sticker in there for you and send it back to you while I still have stickers anyways. And then if you just want to send me just regular old mail, tell me what's up. Maybe you want to send me, I don't know, a rock star, it's candy, I don't know. You can also send mail to that P.O. box as well. So either way, that's my mailing address. It is also available down the link down below, so you can pull it from there. A lot of my other videos have it down there as well. So I guess that's it. This is probably going to close out Chaos Live. Show the cat on Instagram, maybe. Maybe I'll do a post where I'll show my animals. There might be. I don't know if there's any older stuff that has Penny in there somewhere or something like that. Are you into cowboy games? If so, are you getting Red Dead Redemption 2? I might get Red Dead Redemption 2. I liked the first one, so maybe. Are you going to Phoenix, Arizona? Not on this stop. Maybe next year. Maybe next year if figure some other way to do it. Maybe, possibly. Bring your tour or bring your sticker on tour. Need a sticker. There will be stickers on the tour. So, all right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining me for another fun-filled Chaos Live. Hopefully you guys had a good time as well. But I'm Christopher Chaos. Thanks for watching. See you next time. See ya.